Yo, welcome back to the Dinosaur channel. This is your home on the internet for all things dinosaur and prehistoric. I genuinely did not think I was going to have time to be making this video. I thought I was going to be on a motorcycle loop in northern Vietnam, and turns out I didn't end up going on the loop just in time to be around for the entire launch of Prehistoric Planet Season 2. I couldn't be happier. Prehistoric Planet Season 1 was so pivotal for this channel.
And some of them.
We got so many new subscribers from the series, and it was just amazing. And honestly, I expect nothing less of Prehistoric Planet Season 2. This show has shown us in the first season just how amazing it can be. And I think that Episode 1, I just finished watching Episode 1 and 2, so I'm going to be doing two reactions and sort of analysis of the episode. Episode 1 was so true to the name Prehistoric Planet. I mean, we had dinosaurs, I feel like, were the background part of this episode. We had giant snakes, we had mammals, we had archosaurs, we had pterosaurs, everything and anything in between flew in this episode. So let's just analyze sort of play by play, minute by minute. We'll kind of go through what we saw here. I want to begin with the first sort of scene of episode 1. I'll just I'm skimming through here on my own and just kind of watching it. So episode 1, Islands, we're kind of breaking down the islands of the prehistoric world. I liked the cool cameo of the mosasaur in this first episode, sort of going after a little baby pterosaur. I don't think they clarified which. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, both for episode 1 and 2, there were a lot of new dinosaurs here that I've never heard of, and I can't quite frankly remember the name of each and every single one of them. It's just going to be difficult, but I can kind of remember what kind of dinosaur they were. But yeah, this really cool scene of these two little dinosaurs that got stuck on the island and drifted away into the ocean was such a cool concept for showing off, like, not only island gigantism, but sort of the unique speciesism that happens when dinosaurs or any other animal gets isolated on an island. And the way that they put it together, of like there was a literal island floating off the coast because of a typhoon or a hurricane that hit this coast. And now you have two dinosaurs that are off, like going to be pioneers to settle in a new island, was just such a cool concept I've never really seen executed before. And I love the way that they have them sort of drifting in the sunset. Obviously, this next scene with the hadrosaurs and the Hatscaropteryx, I gotta be honest with you guys, both me and a friend of mine who watched this episode with me, who is not really like into the prehistoric stuff as much as I am, we both acknowledged the Hatscaropteryx is just freaking creepy. It's not normal. It's like, Quetzalcoatlus is one thing. It's not comfortable to look at because it's the size of a freaking giraffe. But this scene is just... Okay, I'm going to get really dark for a second, but like there's callbacks here to me that feel like, one, the lost world of velociraptors attacking in the high grass in Jurassic Park, and two, like Nazi soldiers in the Holocaust. Like, they are just... It's such extreme imagery of these poor little hadrosaurs running away from these massive towering pterosaurs, sort of eyeballing them and scanning above it. Actually even calls back a little bit to War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, where you have like those aliens just sort of hovering above and like just towering over these little poor little hadrosaurs. They're just so cute. And I originally thought this was Maiasaura, but it turns out it's not. I forgot the name already, and I don't have the energy to look it up. Adorable little hadrosaur just getting the absolute life of it smacked away from it by this massive Hatscaropteryx. And it just, I don't know, the whole thing, this sort of scene where you have them scanning over this tall grass, these saplings, it's crazy. I mean, it's genuinely creepy. It raised the hairs on the back of my neck. It's just not, it's not normal. And I gotta be honest, I'm not really a huge fan. I'll get into this a little bit later. I'm not a huge fan of Prehistoric Planet's depictions of pterosaurs. I do have to say that the ones in this episode were like at least it made me feel something. But yeah, super creepy scene. Anyways, we then jump off to Madagascar. So extremely happy by what happened here. Cynosuchus, a cool little, I think it's like an archosaur related to crocodilians, a herbivorous one. Beautiful depiction of it. It literally looks like a crocodile, but an adorable herbivorous crocodile. And then I obviously knew, because being a little dinosaur nerd, I knew we're going to Madagascar. We're probably getting Majungasaurus. And boom, David Attenborough showed me that little one-horned freak, Carnotaurus-like theropod. Epic depiction of it. It looks fat. It looks chunky as all heck. I have never seen a Majungasaurus depicted like this before, and I freaking loved it. He looks. He also looks absolutely brain dead, and he kind of like also the hunting sequence doesn't go well for him. It kind of looks like he is brain dead, and the way that the Sino what was it Sinosaurus Sinosuchus, the way that the Sinosuchus defends itself like some sort of little Wolverine outside of its cavern is just epic. This little sequence, this little fight, it's so cool. It's like a honey badger and a lion. Honestly, that's kind of what it feels like. But that Majungasaurus is depicted so beautifully. Honestly, the colors, the skin textures, it's like it's got like holes in its body. Looks like it's been bleeding and stuff. I love it. I'm absolutely in love. And then we jump off into Madagascar as well to the first mammal. I forgot. I'm not even going to try to look up the name. Honestly, another one of those sequences where the stakes were really low. I'm happy that they included mammals because they did in the first season as well in a smaller context. I think it's cool, part of the food chain. Like I'm all about it. Just the story wasn't really interesting. It's cool that they chose us. It shows us that it was a monotremes that lay eggs and stuff, and like you can see the beginning evolution of mammals, and that's cool. I did really like the having to second guess myself in the scene where they kind of had these little baby rats hatching out of eggs. I'm assuming that they used some sort of rodent baby or either a kangaroo or something. It kind of looks like a baby, like baby mice or baby rats. And they just collected them and put them in a handful of eggshells. And I had a second where I was second guessing. I was like, is this CGI or is this for real? You know, until I realized, like, okay, these are definitely real animals, and that's definitely real fur. So they actually filmed the sequence with real animals, which is kind of cool. Um, I like that they didn't go through animating it. It really kind of puts you there. And then I have to say, again, the CGI in the dark and stuff, it's not the greatest. I like that I had to second guess as well if I was looking at a Titanoboa, which makes sense that it's not a Titanoboa because I know it didn't live in Madagascar, but having this massive species of snake in here as well, you know, just adding to the diversity of the world of prehistoric planet. And then this really cool dinosaur, I think it was Psychosaurus, with a specialized head to sneak into caverns and sort of look at trying to find eggs and stuff. Absolutely epic, absolutely dope. Like one of the cooler dinosaurs we had. I'm sad that he gets absolutely smashed by a snake so quickly, and the fact that we also don't get to really see the snake, we only get kind of slivers of it. I think it's really cool as if in a filmmaker's perspective. Really nice that we don't get to see that predator the entire time. We then jump off to that pack of dromaeosaurs in the tundra environment, hunting down another little herbivorous dinosaur. Again, we're getting into the territory of dinosaur names I've never heard of these dinosaurs before. I'm able to familiarize myself with what's a herbivore, what's a carnivore, what's a dromaeosaur here, but like, you know, the names, I'm just not about it. The chase sequence here, absolutely epic. Reminds me of a bunch of timber wolves just running after like a caribou or something in the forest. And this like frozen lake sequence, really cool. I have to say, Prehistoric Planet kind of screws with your head a lot too, as like you do kind of end up rooting for carnivores a lot of times, and you're hoping that they do get the kill. And I see what they're trying to do by really depicting it in real life, because in reality, in the natural world, carnivores 90% of the time their hunts don't go as planned, and they end up just not being able to get the kill, and they just don't eat that day, or don't eat that week, or don't eat that month, you know. And so I like that they're sticking to the realism, but I gotta say the effort that went into this hunt, seeing him run off because of a little slip, I mean they achieved the purpose of what they wanted to as video creators, as creators of content. I'm there. I feel bad for the dromaeosaurs. I'm sad that they didn't get the meal, but it's also like I would have loved to see them dig into this little dinosaur. He's already isolated. They're already there. You know, like you might as well. But nonetheless, it didn't happen. We jump off into the tropics again. So now we get into a scene where this was kind of like the main focus of this episode with the trailer. We jump off to some island that looks like it's an island in the Philippines. Beautiful little tropical island. And then Hatscropteryx from the first part of the episode brings back his little kill, his little hadrosaur, and starts doing some creepy ceremony. I gotta say, it's just uncomfortable to watch. It like it looks. I don't know if it looks too real or if the CGI just kind of blends and it's that thing. It's like that uncanny valley thing. I really don't like watching prehistoric planet pterosaur scenes. There's something off-putting about it. And watching this humanoid-looking pterosaur constructing a nest on the beach, I don't know. It sits with me the wrong way. I really don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's not for me. The fight that lasted for literally 5.2 seconds, cool. I liked it. The ritual dance, I could subscribe to the idea that it's real, but I think again the prehistoric planet CGI, they shine when they make dinosaurs. They don't so much, in my opinion, when they do pterosaurs. It's just something's off there. I don't know if they need to spend some more time, like, or budget in like making a realistic, like I don't know how hard it would have been to puppeteer this scene, at least for the heads, but just adding that sense of realism would have been cool. But I don't know, the scene didn't sell it to me visually. I was kind of bored of the whole idea of it, and the mating in the end, all of it was kind of just like, I don't know. And then again, looking at the body of this Hatscropteryx, especially the legs and the wings, it's just creepy. I can't say that this is what it looked like. It probably did, but it's just creepy. It's like kind of uncomfortable to look at in a lot of ways. And the episode ends there, guys. That's the end of episode 1, Islands. Off to a phenomenal start. I have to say, I'm about to jump in and record my sort of, like analysis of episode 2. I liked episode 2, Badlands, a lot more. It was super dinosaur focused, which I love. But I do have to say, big points to Prehistoric Planet for like bringing it on episode 1, for making sure that the first episode was not just dinosaurs, for returning viewers to kind of look forward to something other than just dinosaurs. It's cool. I really appreciate them doing it. I appreciate them putting an effort to sort of diversify the prehistoric world as well. I think that's super dope. That's super cool. I'm looking forward to and again, they shined so hard with the Sinosuchus and with the Majungasaurus scene. Seeing that interaction between those two prehistoric animals is just epic. It was out of proportion. It was one of the cooler things they've done in this whole show, in my opinion. The way the Sinosuchus looks and the way the Majungasaurus looks, phenomenal. Like, huge points to them for that one. But yeah, episode 2, Badlands, hit it for me a little bit better. I'm about to go and record my analysis of that, so make sure you watch it when that comes out a little bit later. And I appreciate you guys watching. Please go ahead and support the channel by becoming a member. We really appreciate it. We got a lot of really cool content scheduled and coming up really soon. But for now, we'll have an analysis on every single episode of Prehistoric Planet coming out this week. We love you so much, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!